Atlanta woke up to chaos.
Every blog, every gossip page, every fan account was on fire with one name: Jasmine Washington. The same woman who nearly tore Kirk Frost and Rasheeda's marriage apart years ago had suddenly resurfaced, and this time, she wasn't just talking. She was holding proof. Late last night, Jasmine dropped what the internet is now calling the most explosive leak in love and hip-hop Atlanta history: DNA test results that allegedly confirm Kirk Frost as the father of her child once and for all. The document, stamped, signed, and uploaded to her Instagram story with the caption "Truth Never Dies," instantly broke the internet. Within minutes, Atlanta's entire hip-hop scene went into meltdown. Rasheeda's fans flooded Twitter with heartbreak and fury. Kirk's name started trending nationwide, not for music, not for business, but for being the father who lied to the world. The results showed a 99.98% paternity match.
It was over.
The years of denial, the interviews, the half-truths, all shattered by one piece of paper.
But the most shocking part? The timing.
Insiders claim Jasmine had been sitting on the DNA test for months, waiting for the perfect moment to drop it, right before filming for the new Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season began.
And now, Mona Scott's empire is reportedly in chaos.
Cast members are panicking, Rasheeda has gone silent again, and Kirk has been seen leaving Atlanta's Frost Bistro looking completely destroyed.
This isn't just another rumor.
This is revenge, televised, time-stamped, and blood-tested. Because after years of being dismissed as the side chick with no receipts, Jasmine Washington may have just flipped the entire Atlanta reality scene upside down and destroyed Kirk Frost's career for good. It started like every other quiet Atlanta night, until Jasmine Washington hit post. At exactly 11:43 p.m., her Instagram story went live, a single PDF file, zoomed in on a name, a date, and one line in bold black letters: paternity inclusion, 99.98% probability. Underneath, she wrote 3 words that shook the entire love and hip-hop universe: "He lied again." Within 10 minutes, screenshots were everywhere: blogs, Twitter, fan pages, even Reddit threads dissecting every pixel of the document.
Some claimed it was fake.
Others zoomed in on the watermark and confirmed it matched an official Atlanta DNA Diagnostics Center form. The stamp, the signatures, all real. Kirk Frost's name, clear as daylight.
Jasmine had done it.
After years of being branded the liar, the gold digger, and the problem, she dropped the receipts that ended the debate once and for all.
And the fallout was instant.
Within the hour, the neighborhood talk posted: police cars revolving like Jasmine Washington finally drops DNA proof that Kirk Frost is the father of her son. ATL going crazy right now.
Then the Shade Room followed with the headline:
Rasheeda's worst nightmare confirmed, years of denial finally exposed.
The internet turned into a battlefield.
Some fans cheered for Jasmine, calling it justice long overdue. Others accused her of waiting for the most damaging moment possible. But no matter what side people took, one fact was undeniable: Kirk Frost's empire had just crumbled in real time. Rasheeda, meanwhile, went silent. For months, she had rebuilt her image, launching new clothing lines, hosting empowerment panels, smiling through interviews that painted her as the woman who forgave and flourished.
But Jasmine's late-night post blew all of that apart.
Every outlet that once celebrated Rasheeda's healed marriage now plastered her face next to the headline: DNA proves Kirk lied again. By sunrise, Kirk's comments were flooded with tens of thousands of furious fans. "You embarrassed this woman twice.
How do you still look her in the eyes?
She stayed loyal to a man who didn't even stay truthful." And then, the twist that made the entire scandal even messier. A verified producer from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta leaked screenshots showing that Mona Scott's team had known about the DNA test months ago, but allegedly begged Jasmine to wait before releasing it, saying the storyline would be more powerful if it dropped at the right time. Mona, according to the insider, had allegedly promised Jasmine a comeback season and a major check if she kept quiet until filming started. But when Mona didn't deliver,
Jasmine snapped and went nuclear.
So when that DNA test hit the internet, it wasn't just Kirk and Rasheeda caught in the explosion.
It was Mona Scott's entire empire. VH1's offices reportedly went into meltdown.
One staffer told Media Takeout, "Mona's furious. She's saying this was supposed to be the season finale twist, not a random midnight post.
The whole rollout's ruined."
But for Jasmine, this wasn't about production value.
This was about revenge. Her next post proved it.
A video selfie, shot hours after the leak. No makeup, eyes swollen but steady. I'm not doing this for TV. I'm doing this cause I was tired of being called a liar.
You'll drag me for years.
Now, here's your proof. That single video racked up nearly 2 million views in one night. Fans flooded the comments with sympathy, saying Jasmine had been vilified while Kirk was protected by the show's family man image. Even longtime Rasheeda supporters began turning on Kirk, calling him the downfall of ATL love. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, Rasheeda reportedly broke down. According to insiders close to her boutique, Pressed ATL, she found out about the DNA post the same way everyone else did, through her phone. One employee claimed Rasheeda collapsed behind the register after seeing the document, whispering, "Not again, not again."
By noon, reporters had gathered outside Frost Bistro.
Cameras caught Kirk storming out the back door, visibly angry, refusing to answer questions. He looked disheveled, wearing the same hoodie he'd been seen in days earlier, the one fans joked was holding all his lies. Insiders say Mona immediately tried to contact Kirk to convince him to address it on camera.
But he hung up on her.
His brand deals began disappearing overnight. A local beer company pulled their collaboration ad, citing moral concerns. A clothing brand quietly deleted his promotional posts. The man once dubbed Atlanta's comeback husband was now being erased from the city's culture, one endorsement at a time. Then came the next shockwave, leaked audio of Kirk reportedly calling a friend and saying,
"She wasn't supposed to drop that yet. Mona said she'd handle it.
Now they all turning on me."
The clip spread like wildfire.
Fans demanded answers from VH1 and Mona Scott herself. Within hours, hashtags like #JusticeForJasmine and #MonaKnew dominated Twitter. But Mona, ever the strategist, stayed silent.
She knew any comment would be seen as guilt.
Instead, insiders claim she started fast-tracking a new spin-off episode titled The Frost Fallout.
She wanted to control the narrative before Rasheeda or Jasmine did.
Meanwhile, Jasmine kept doubling down. She posted a carousel of photos showing her son, now older, the resemblance to Kirk undeniable.
In one caption she wrote,
"You can't hide DNA. You can't rewrite truth."
Fans rallied behind her.
Even celebrities joined in. Michelle tweeted, "They always called her messy, but look who was lying the whole time." Rasheeda, heartbroken but dignified, broke her silence 2 days later with a quiet post. Sometimes peace means accepting what hurts the most.
It got over 1 million likes in 12 hours.
Atlanta was divided, Team Jasmine or Team Rasheeda, but one thing was clear. Kirk Frost's career had officially flatlined.
His name was toxic. His reputation destroyed.
And yet, the chaos had only just begun, because Mona Scott wasn't about to let her show die quietly. Behind the scenes, she was planning something far bigger. Something that would drag everyone, Jasmine, Kirk, and even Rasheeda, back into the spotlight, whether they liked it or not. Because for Mona, scandals aren't endings. They are just the beginning of a new season. By sunrise the next day, Atlanta's entertainment industry looked like a crime scene. Blogs, radio shows, and gossip podcasts all had one topic: the DNA that ended Kirk Frost. What started as a midnight post had turned into a cultural event. The city that once crowned Kirk and Rasheeda the first couple of love and hip-hop was now watching the empire burn, and Jasmine Washington was standing in the center, calm, powerful, and unbothered. Producers from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta were calling it a disaster. Mona Scott Lee, the architect of reality TV chaos, had built her entire brand on managing scandal. But this was different. This wasn't manufactured drama or a storyline reveal.
This was real. And it had dropped outside her control.
According to a leaked text exchange between Mona and one of her assistant producers, she wrote at 2:14 a.m.
"We can't spin this.
Tell legal to pause all Frost footage immediately." That one text leaked to Gossip of the South and sent the internet into another frenzy. Fans accused Mona of trying to cover up the truth, while others demanded VH1 let the footage air uncut.
Meanwhile, Jasmine was doing interviews.
She appeared live on Instagram with blogger Tasha Talks Tea, wearing a plain hoodie, no makeup, holding the same stack of DNA papers in her hand.
She didn't shout. She didn't cry.
She just spoke calmly, letting every sentence sting.
"He lied on me.
He let people call me a liar, a homewrecker, a manipulator, all for ratings. But I kept receipts. I kept quiet for years because Mona told me. Timing is everything." Well, time's up. The internet exploded with applause emojis and fire comments. Within an hour, over 200,000 people were watching her live. Even celebrities joined: Candy Burris, Erica Mena, and Jocelyn Hernandez all popped in to comment. Jocelyn wrote, "Finally the truth. I told y'all Kirk was fake since day one." That live became the most watched Instagram stream of the week, breaking ATL influencer records. But while Jasmine basked in her vindication, Kirk was unraveling behind closed doors. According to insiders close to Frost Bistro, Kirk showed up that morning furious, slamming his phone down on the counter, shouting, "She's ruining everything." Witnesses claimed he called Mona repeatedly, demanding she fix this mess, but she stopped answering his calls. VH1 executives were panicking too. One staffer leaked an internal memo saying, "All Frost-related promotional content must be removed from marketing materials effective immediately." His face was literally being erased from billboards, trailers, and even cast montages. Rasheeda, meanwhile, had gone completely silent again.
Not a single post, not a single appearance.
But fans who showed up to her boutique claimed she was different this time, quieter, colder, almost peaceful in her detachment. One witness said she told a shopper softly, "Let him deal with his truth. I already faced mine."
The city was buzzing. And then came Mona Scott's biggest blunder yet.
Desperate to control the chaos, Mona ordered her team to start filming emergency confessionals, forcing other cast members to react on camera to Jasmine's DNA reveal. Carly Red, Spice, and Scrappy were all brought in to discuss the scandal. But word got out that Mona was dangling money to whoever would bring Rasheeda back to set. That leak was the final straw for Rasheeda. She allegedly called Mona directly and told her, "I'm done being your story. You don't get to film my pain again." When Rasheeda hung up, she called her lawyer. Insiders claim she began quietly negotiating a contract termination, ending her decade-long run on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta.
Mona panicked.
Losing Rasheeda meant losing the show's emotional anchor. So she did what Mona does best. She tried to spin the narrative. A new promo was rushed into production titled "The Truth About the Frost Family." It promised exclusive reactions from Kirk, Jasmine, and the cast. But the teaser backfired spectacularly when fans realized Mona had edited Jasmine's live video without permission. Within hours, Jasmine's lawyer sent a cease and desist, threatening legal action for unauthorized use of image and defamation. That move turned Jasmine from reality TV side chick into a media icon overnight. She wasn't just exposing Kirk anymore, she was standing up to the queen of the entire franchise. Fans started calling her the whistleblower of LHHATL.
Twitter was full of posts like,
"Jasmine just did more for women in reality TV than anyone else ever.
She's not messy. She's brave."
Mona tried to bury her, and now she's the one burying Mona's career. Behind the scenes, Kirk's situation kept deteriorating. Frost Bistro was nearly empty that weekend, and Yelp reviews were brutal, people leaving comments like 99.98% trash and food's cold, like Kirk's lies.
Even the staff reportedly started quitting.
Meanwhile, Jasmine's following skyrocketed. Within a week, she gained 500,000 new Instagram followers, multiple brand offers, and even a rumored podcast deal.
But then came the phone call that no one expected.
According to a leaked voicemail, Mona reached out to Jasmine privately, offering her a six-figure deal to return to LHHATL and tell her full story, uncut. She even promised to let Jasmine narrate the truth in her own words. And Jasmine's response?
"You had your chance to tell my story.
I'm telling it my way now."
Click.
That single voicemail, leaked days later, was the sound of Mona's empire cracking. Kirk, Mona, and VH1 were losing control. Jasmine was now the most powerful name in Atlanta's reality scene, and she wasn't done yet. Rumors were spreading that she was preparing to release a full video diary with even more proof, including texts, photos, and recordings from years of deception. And when that dropped, insiders warned, it's going to end what's left of Kirk's career forever. Because if the DNA destroyed his reputation, what Jasmine was about to release next might just destroy his legacy. By week 2, Atlanta wasn't gossiping anymore. It was grieving, gasping, and glued to their screens. The Jasmine Washington scandal had gone from rumor to revelation to full-blown national obsession. And just when people thought they'd seen it all, Jasmine detonated another bomb. At 9 p.m. on a Friday night, she dropped a 12-minute YouTube video titled "Receipts They Tried to Bury." No intro music, no fancy setup, just Jasmine sitting on her couch, calm but visibly exhausted.
She looked directly into the camera and said,
"You've seen the DNA. Now here's everything else." The video started with screenshots, private DMs from Kirk, some as old as 4 years. Messages with timestamps, attached photos, and cash transfer receipts. One showed Kirk writing, "You know I love him, but we can't make this public. It'll ruin everything." Another, dated 6 months later, read,
"Keep quiet.
"Mona promised me this won't come up next season."
Fans lost their minds.
The video spread across social media like wildfire. Within the first hour,
it had 500,000 views. By morning, it had hit 3.2 million. Twitter erupted with outrage and disbelief. Even people outside the love and hip-hop world were watching. But Jasmine didn't stop there.
She played audio clips, secret recordings of conversations between her and Kirk.
One clip was especially damning.
"Kirk, I told Mona to drop that story. She said no, she said we need ratings." Jasmine, "So she knows about him."
Kirk, "She knows everything."
That one line, "she knows everything," echoed across the internet like a grenade. It confirmed what fans had long suspected, that Mona Scott not only knew about Kirk's infidelity but had used it as a weapon to keep the show alive.
By midnight, #Mona Knew was trending again. Even celebrities weighed in.
Cardi B reposted a clip of Jasmine's video with the caption,
"They be playing with people's lives for views.
Glad sis speaking up." At the same time, Rasheeda was nowhere to be found. According to sources close to her, she had completely shut down. Her boutique was closed for inventory, and staff said she wasn't taking calls. One insider described her as heartbroken beyond repair.
She built her whole redemption story around forgiving that man. And now the world knows it was all a lie. Fans who once idolized her now pitted her.
The internet turned cold, sympathy mixed with disbelief.
Comment sections filled with posts like,
"Rasheeda didn't deserve this, but she should have left years ago." Imagine protecting someone who was protecting lies. She was healing from wounds that were still bleeding. Meanwhile, Kirk Frost finally broke his silence. He went live from his car, just like every fallen reality star does, eyes red, voice shaky, trying to regain control. Everybody got something to say.
"But y'all don't know the whole story. It ain't black and white. Mona twisted everything.
I was trying to protect my family." He rambled for 15 minutes, alternating between denial and regret.
He blamed editing. He blamed Mona.
He even hinted that Jasmine had manipulated him into signing a false document. But when fans asked, "So the DNA isn't real?" he froze, stared into the camera, then ended the live abruptly.
That one moment of silence told the world everything. By the next morning, memes flooded Twitter.
Kirk Frost when someone asks about 99.98% became a viral trend. Even other celebrities joined the mockery. Young Jock tweeted, "Bro, just log off. It's over." Then came the next twist, Jasmine's deleted footage leak. An anonymous user uploaded a clip allegedly cut from a previous Love and Hip Hop reunion episode. In the unseen footage, Mona Scott can be heard telling a producer, "If Jasmine says anything about that baby, shut it down. We're not touching that till we get Kirk's side."
Fans were furious.
It confirmed years of speculation that Mona had intentionally silenced Jasmine on camera to protect Kirk's image and Rasheeda's loyal wife narrative. The backlash hit VH1 like a hurricane. Protest hashtags erupted, #cancel LHHATL, #free the cast, and #expose Mona Scott. Sponsors like Fashion Nova and Bet pulled their ads. Even longtime cast members like Spice and Carly Red began distancing themselves, publicly posting support for Jasmine. "She was never crazy," Carly tweeted. "They just didn't want her truth on TV." As the internet celebrated Jasmine, Kirk's downfall accelerated. Frost Bistro shut down temporarily after protesters showed up outside chanting, "Pay your dues, not your lies." Videos showed angry fans confronting Kirk's staff, chanting 99.98% to 100% done. Rasheeda, watching everything unfold, reportedly refused to even discuss Kirk's name. Sources say she blocked his number completely and began preparing a second divorce filing, this time final, with full property separation. Her attorney allegedly told the Jasmine brand, "There are no negotiations this time. It's over." Mona Scott, desperate, tried one last stunt. She scheduled an emergency tell-all reunion special, promising every side of the truth. But Jasmine refused to participate unless she had full creative control. When Mona denied her, Jasmine pulled out and leaked the contract offer to the internet. The document showed Mona offering Jasmine $40,000 for exclusive participation and emotional disclosure.
Fans exploded.
They accused Mona of exploiting Jasmine's pain for profit. Again. The backlash forced VH1 to cancel the special entirely. And through it all, Jasmine remained calm. She posted a quiet message on Twitter. "You can't destroy someone who stopped hiding." Those 9 words hit harder than any interview. They became the slogan of an entire movement, women in reality TV demanding fair contracts, real consent, and accountability.
Meanwhile, Kirk was spiraling.
Reports emerged of him showing up drunk at Frost Bistro after hours, ranting about being betrayed by everyone.
A staffer told Media Takeout. His unraveling.
His blaming Mona, Jasmine, even Rasheeda, but never himself. One night, he allegedly tried to go live again, this time visibly intoxicated, slurring his words and repeating, "They set me up. They set me up." VH1 immediately issued a statement distancing themselves from him. By the next day, Kirk Frost was officially dropped from all VH1 and Love and Hip Hop promotional materials.
His bio disappeared from the show's website.
His legacy, gone in a single update. And as Jasmine's video kept climbing in views, the internet realized something monumental. This wasn't just celebrity gossip anymore. This was the dismantling of an empire built on manipulation, lies, and silence. But what no one expected was Rasheeda's next move, because while everyone was focused on Kirk and Jasmine, she was quietly plotting something that would turn Atlanta's entire entertainment scene upside down. The morning after Jasmine's YouTube expose hit 10 million views, Atlanta's gossip machine went into overdrive. Radio hosts dissected every text, every clip, every tear. Major outlets like Entertainment Tonight and The Breakfast Club were booking experts to debate whether Kirk Frost's career could ever recover. But while everyone was focused on Jasmine's rise and Kirk's destruction, something new was brewing quietly in the background. Rasheeda's retaliation. For years, Rasheeda had played the quiet wife, the businesswoman who smiled through her husband's mess. She let Mona Scott film her pain, she let fans pity her, and she let Kirk take center stage in the chaos.
But not this time.
According to insiders, Rasheeda had been working silently on something massive, her own docuseries, titled Rebuilt, The Real Rasheeda Story. She filmed it independently, no Mona, no VH1, just Rasheeda and a small crew of trusted creatives. When the trailer dropped on her Instagram, it broke the internet. Slow piano music, archival clips from her early days on Love and Hip Hop, flashes of her crying behind scenes, then her voiceover.
"They turned my marriage into entertainment, but I turned my pain into power."
The trailer ended with her walking out of Frost Bistro, alone, ringless, and radiant.
The caption?
"Coming soon."
No producers. No scripts. No lies.
The internet exploded again. Rasheeda's about to end them all. The wife turned the pain into profit. This is how you do revenge, gracefully. Meanwhile, Kirk was imploding. He'd gone completely off-grid, allegedly holed up in a rented condo in Buckhead. Friends claimed he was paranoid, angry, and obsessed with stopping Rasheeda's project. One insider said he spent hours calling old castmates, begging them not to appear in her docuseries.
But most refused to even pick up.
The industry had turned its back on him. Sponsorships gone, restaurant nearly bankrupt, his social media comments filled with clown emojis and 99.98% daddy jokes. Then came Jasmine's next move, the Jasmine Washington Foundation. In an unexpected twist, Jasmine announced a new nonprofit initiative aimed at supporting women silenced by contracts and control in entertainment.
She went live with a tearful but powerful speech.
"They made me a villain for telling the truth. So I'm creating something that makes sure women like me never get silenced again."
The response was enormous.
Donations poured in, celebrities reposted, and suddenly Jasmine wasn't just a gossip story. She was a movement. But what made the situation even more explosive was what came next. Jasmine and Rasheeda finally spoke, privately. According to leaked texts from a mutual friend, the two women had met quietly at a private lounge in Midtown Atlanta. No cameras, no crew, just a closed-door conversation that lasted nearly 3 hours. Eyewitnesses claimed that when they left, both were in tears, and one source close to Rasheeda said,
"They didn't leave as enemies.
They left as survivors." The next day, Rasheeda posted a cryptic message.
"Closure don't always mean forgiveness.
Sometimes it just means freedom."
The post got over 2 million likes.
Jasmine commented a single emoji. That comment alone set the internet ablaze. Fans screamed, "The healing era is here," while Kirk was left completely alone, outplayed, outtalked, and outloved. Mona Scott, seeing her entire franchise crumble, made one last desperate attempt to reclaim control. She announced a special called Love and Hip Hop: The Reckoning, promising exclusive interviews with Kirk, Rasheeda, and Jasmine.
But none of them showed up.
VH1 released it anyway, with fill-in commentary, old clips, and stock footage. Viewers called it the fakest hour in TV history. Ratings tanked. And then came the final nail in Kirk's coffin. TMZ Atlanta released an unverified but devastating video allegedly showing Kirk confronting a producer from LHHATL, accusing him of leaking the DNA story.
In the video, Kirk shouts,
"You think I don't know Mona told you to film that? You think this is funny? You ruined my family." The video ends with security pulling him away, shouting, "I made this show what it is."
The internet didn't sympathize.
The clip was reposted with captions like, "And that's the sound of a career dying." Within 48 hours, VH1 officially terminated all contracts associated with Kirk Frost. Frost Bistro announced a temporary closure that insiders knew was permanent. And Mona Scott, now facing widespread backlash, stepped down from public duties at her production company. Rasheeda's docuseries rebuilt premiered on Zeus Network to record-breaking numbers. Critics called it raw, honest, and transformative. She didn't focus on Kirk, she focused on healing, independence, and rebuilding her identity. The final scene showed Rasheeda walking through her store, smiling as fans hugged her, her voiceover saying, "They can rewrite the story, but they can't rewrite my piece." The episode trended for days. Jasmine appeared in the finale as a surprise guest, hugging Rasheeda on camera. The two shared a tearful moment as Rasheeda said, "We were both broken by the same machine. I just wish we had known sooner."
That line broke the internet, again.
Kirk, watching from wherever he was, reportedly sent a message through a mutual friend. "Tell her I'm proud of her, even if she hates me."
But Rasheeda didn't respond.
She didn't need to. Her silence said everything. Because while Jasmine rose as an advocate and Mona fell as a manipulator, Rasheeda Frost quietly became something bigger than all of them, a symbol.
Her story was no longer about betrayal or heartbreak. It was about rebirth.
And as fans began calling her the Phoenix of Atlanta, even her critics had to admit she'd done what no one thought possible. She'd turned the ugliest scandal in love and hip-hop history into a legacy of power, truth, and survival. But one final twist still lingered. A rumor spreading through ATL blogs that Kirk Frost was planning a tell-all book titled Behind the DNA, allegedly claiming the tests were tampered with. Whether that's real or another desperate attempt to stay relevant, only time will tell. Because in Atlanta's reality world, the truth never sleeps, it just reloads. The city that once called Kirk Frost a boss now whispered his name like a curse.
His mansion in Sandy Springs was half empty.
The lights that once hosted endless filming nights, cast dinners, and camera crews now stayed off. The Frost Bistro was officially shuttered, its sign taken down in silence. Kirk was gone, but his shadow loomed over Atlanta's entire entertainment industry. After the leak, after the DNA, after the meltdown, Kirk Frost had become the cautionary tale of modern hip-hop fame, a man who built his brand on manipulation and lost it all to the truth he spent years burying. But in contrast, Jasmine Washington, once dismissed as the villain, had become a national conversation. Talk shows, magazines, and social media hailed her transformation as one of the greatest turnarounds in reality TV history. She was no longer the other woman.
She was the woman who ended the lie.
Her foundation, Voices Unscripted, became an official nonprofit by the end of the year. It hosted workshops for women in entertainment, offering legal aid for those trapped in unfair contracts. Celebrities like Jocelyn Hernandez, Erica Mena, and even Masika Kalisha donated publicly. For the first time, people started to see Jasmine not as the spark of scandal, but as the match that burned down corruption. Her viral quote, "You can't destroy someone who's stopped hiding," became a rallying cry. Fans printed it on hoodies.
Music artists used it in lyrics. It was everywhere.
Jasmine was no longer a footnote in Kirk Frost's story, he was a footnote in hers. Meanwhile, Rasheeda was thriving in a way that no one, not even her harshest critics, could have predicted. Her docuseries won 2 Digital Media Awards, and her podcast Unfiltered with Rasheeda debuted at #1 in the celebrity category. Every episode was raw, introspective, and unapologetic. No gossip, no production filters, just Rasheeda telling stories about healing, motherhood, and business. In her final episode of Season 1, she said softly, "For years,
People only saw me through his story. But I was never just a wife.
I was a woman surviving her own silence. That line became her signature, printed on murals, quoted in interviews, shouted by fans outside her events. Rasheeda had turned her heartbreak into a brand of empowerment. And the best part? She never once mentioned Kirk's name again. Mona Scott, however, wasn't as lucky. After VH1 dropped Love and Hip Hop Atlanta indefinitely, her credibility within the industry evaporated. Insiders leaked that major streaming networks blacklisted her company due to ethical concerns. Mona tried to pitch new shows, but no network wanted to touch the chaos she'd created. For the first time in years, the woman who controlled everyone's story had lost her own. Then came the final twist, the one no one expected. A year after Jasmine's DNA bombshell, a local Atlanta journalist published an exclusive report revealing that Kirk had filed for bankruptcy. Court records showed hundreds of thousands in unpaid taxes, legal fees, and settlements from former employees. The same man who once flaunted luxury cars on TV was now selling off his assets just to stay afloat. Fans reacted with cold humor. 99.98% broke. The DNA test came back. You're the father of bad decisions. Should have invested in truth instead of lies. Rasheeda didn't comment publicly, but people close to her said she wasn't gloating, she was indifferent.
Her peace didn't depend on his pain. She'd already won.
In one of the final episodes of Rebuilt, Rasheeda took viewers to Frost Bistro, now abandoned and boarded up. She walked inside with the keys, stood in the middle of the empty dining room, and said quietly to the camera, "This used to be our dream. Now it's just a reminder. Sometimes you have to lose the thing you built to remember who you were before it." She locked the door, dropped the keys on the ground, and walked away.
The scene went viral overnight.
Fans called it the most poetic ending in LHHATL history. Critics said Rasheeda had mastered what Mona never could, authentic storytelling born from pain, not production. As for Jasmine, she continued building her advocacy platform, eventually landing a partnership deal with Revolt TV to host a docuseries called Broken Contracts, giving a voice to women silenced by entertainment networks. The first guest? None other than Rasheeda Frost. The internet lost its mind when the promo dropped. Two women once pitted against each other by manipulation, now united by truth.
The teaser showed them laughing together on set, Jasmine saying,
"They told us we'd never sit at the same table." And Rasheeda replying with a smile, "So we built our own." It was a full-circle moment, a visual representation of power reclaimed.
And Kirk Frost? He was nowhere to be seen.
Rumors swirled that he'd moved out of Atlanta entirely, relocating to a small town in Texas. Some claimed he was working on a tell-all memoir titled Behind the DNA, but no publisher confirmed it. Others said he'd become a recluse, rarely seen in public. His name slowly faded from headlines, replaced by the women who'd once been overshadowed by his chaos. In the end, the legacy of the Frost scandal wasn't Kirk's downfall, it was Rasheeda and Jasmine's rebirth. They became symbols of resilience, proof that even the ugliest truth can bloom into liberation. And as the camera faded to black in the final episode of Broken Contracts, both women looked straight into the lens, Jasmine saying, "They wanted to control the story." Rasheeda finished the sentence, smiling faintly, "But we wrote the ending ourselves."
The screen faded to white. The sound of applause filled the background.
And for the first time in Atlanta's love and hip-hop history, the story didn't end with betrayal.
It ended with freedom.
If you've been following this wild saga, from Jasmine's DNA bombshell to Rasheeda's quiet triumph, tell us what you think. Did Jasmine do the right thing by exposing the truth, or should she have kept it private? Was Mona Scott the mastermind of manipulation, or just another player in the chaos? And do you believe Kirk Frost deserves a comeback, or has Atlanta officially moved on without him? Drop your thoughts below, your opinions, your theories, your side of the story. Because in this world of fame, filters, and fakes, the only thing that lasts longer than lies is truth. And stay tuned, because next week, we're diving deep into the untold aftermath of this scandal, how it changed reality TV forever, the networks it scared, and the unexpected new alliances forming behind the scenes. Subscribe, comment, and share this with anyone who's ever been told to keep quiet. Because if Jasmine and Rasheeda proved anything, it's that silence isn't strength, truth is.